Hejka kochani, ja nazywam się Ola i zapraszam was na kolejny odcinek na moim kanale. Tym odcinkiem chciałabym zacząć nową serię na moim kanale, gdzie będę przeprowadzać futbolowe rozmowy z różnymi gośćmi. Moim pierwszym gościem jest Austinem Jonesem, aktualnie head coach Padova Saints i zobaczmy, co dzisiaj nam powie. Tak jak was pytałam na moim Instagramie i Facebooku, czy macie jakieś pytania, dostałam parę wiadomości z pytaniami. Na część z nich mam nadzieję uzyskać dzisiaj odpowiedź. Mały disclaimer, jeżeli nie wiecie dlaczego przeprowadzam rozmowę z Austinem, to w zeszłym roku Austin był head coachem Warsaw Sharks, gdzie byłam jego asystentką, w sensie head coach assistant i jeszcze wcześniej graliśmy w tej samej drużynie Green Ducks Radom, stąd jakby ta rozmowa i stąd to wszystko. Okay, so let's start in English now.
Yay, English.
Let's start with like how it started, like how it happened for you to be in Poland in first place and when it was. Like what was the story?
So what happened was I had signed a contract to coach a team in Serbia. Our head coach got fired after 2 games and I was given the option to either just help the imports coach and not be the defensive coordinator anymore or find somewhere else to go. I had a previous conversation with Luke Zedazade about coming to Poland. So I contacted Luke, talked to him and Gavin Campbell, and about a week later I was in Poland and ended up being signed as the defensive coordinator for Green Ducks Radom. And then before the season started, it became clear that I was going to need to play as well if we were going to have a chance to win. So I ended up being a player and defensive coordinator for the Green Ducks that year, and that was the beginning of my 3 years in Poland. 2016 that I was first in Poland with Green Ducks, and 2017 with the Sharks, and then played Green Ducks with you that summer, 2018 with the Sharks, and now I'm in Italy.
And that's how we met in 2017?
No, we met in 2016.
Oh, yeah!
You were playing running back for the Crusaders. You had like 20 carries for maybe 5 yards that day. I had like 8 tackles for loss at free safety. But after the game, I was beat up. I had this nasty purple bruise from Ola lowering her helmet into my bicep. That stayed for a while. So that's how I got to know her, and I was like, no, I really don't like her. And then I talked to her one time. Turns out she's not evil. I don't know. Crazy.
No, because at the first time when we met, I was so angry after a game, and you got like, oh, football tattoo, football tattoo.
I liked this tattoo, so I liked her tattoo. No, we're gonna show it. We're gonna show it. Put the tattoo in here. So awesome, except terrible ball security. Absolutely terrible ball security.
Thank you. Next question.
Okay.
And what were your first impressions after coming to Poland?
My first impression coming to Poland has a lot to do with where I came from. I'd been in Serbia prior, so it was just nice to be back in the developed world, in a country where things made sense a little bit and there weren't wild dogs roaming the streets. Not that I didn't like Serbia, I had a great time there, but it was nice to go to someplace a little more civilized. And I was really blown away with, oh, this is the real world, and that was in Radom.
I have to ask you that question. What was your first words that you've been taught in Poland?
So that's kind of funny. Green Ducks, 2016. Mateusz Panetta was one of my players, my teammate, and he tried to teach me some Polish. So he said if you meet, a girl and you're interested in her, a really nice thing to say is chodź na konia. Took me about a month before I knew what it actually meant, but thanks Panetta, I had fun.
Yeah! Because you told us that you were also a player for Green Ducks.
Yeah. And
like you're not playing anymore, and like why? What happened?
My knee is destroyed. So as much as I would love to still play, I mean, one, I wasn't that good. I'm not import good. I've had some opportunities in the last couple of years, quite a few, to continue to play as an import. But really for me, coaching's what I care about. I'm a coach. I was a coach for years before I went to Green Ducks. Started playing again, kind of got the feel for, yeah, it's fun to hit people. But now I just can't play. Physically, my knee is already too messed up. And I still jump in on scout team and play some safety. Have fun, but I'm gonna stick to just scout team and not full speed.
And that's breaking my heart.
Mine too.
Like we're not gonna step on the field together again, ever. Like last couple of years you spent coaching in Poland, and not this year. Like what happened to you after you left Poland last summer? Tell us the whole story.
So I went to Europe in general because I wanted to get back to coaching college football. And after the season with the Sharks last year, I got an opportunity to work at Pacific University in Oregon. It was a great opportunity. I got to spend some time on the offensive side of the ball, which I'd not done in my career other than, here and there filling in. But to be an offensive coach fully and not even deal with defense or special teams. So that perspective was nice. I got to get back into college football, back into recruiting, back into that environment where you're spending, long hours at the office with other guys who are serious about football. And that's kind of what I'd been missing in Europe. I had no intentions of leaving college football until this opportunity came up. And it was just kind of too good to pass up. I went and I met with Coach Buckley at Pacific, and he said, that it was an opportunity I had to take. So as much as I didn't want to leave college football, this was just an opportunity that I saw to come here and build something special.
Are you gonna go back to Poland? Do you want that someday? Would you like to do that? I
want to go back to Poland all the time. The problem is the days of the flights. Otherwise, I would have been there a few times already. But yeah, no, to me, Poland's kind of like my second home. I love Poland. I miss it so much. And I will be back at some point soon. As soon as the schedules work out and I can come up there for a game or two, I'm going to do that. Because yeah, Poland is my second home. It's a place that, by the middle of my second year, it didn't feel like, oh, I'm in a foreign country. It was like, oh, I'm in Poland, but this is normal for me. And I loved my time in Poland.
That's sweet. You're a former head coach of Kurwa. You're a former You're a former head coach of Warsaw Shark. Now it's Warsaw Mets, and they had first game a few days ago that we all seen. How do you feel about that?
I think it's a team that's coming together. They added a lot of new pieces with this rebranding, merger, whatever it may be. They added a lot of new pieces, an entirely new coaching staff. I think it's going to take them some time to gel and kind of, get some chemistry playing together. But it's a team loaded with a lot of talent and a lot of guys that I consider good friends. So I'm definitely rooting for them.
But the red is terrible.
It's the wrong shade of red.
Yeah.
It's a little more Iowa State than USC. Their white uniforms look very nice, and the helmet design is awesome. The skyline on the back, love it.
Yeah, but the red is too much McDonald's. No.
I'm colorblind, so I can't really comment too much on the color.
We're in Italy now, in Padova.
Yeah.
You're head coach of Padova Saints. Could you tell us something about that team? Because Polish people are not very, interested. They don't know really well, maybe Italian league.
So Padova Saints is a team that was founded in 1984. And we're the only team in this city. It's in a place right now where I think we have an opportunity to do some special things. We've got a great facility. We play in a beautiful stadium. We've got a lot of dedicated players. Right now, we just need to build that kind of the next generation, and that's what we're working on. I'm also helping coach the U19 team, recruiting for the U19 team, trying to get some other guys out, bringing some guys out of retirement. We're gonna have some surprises next game. Some guys that had hung up their cleats, but were not old enough to be done playing football, and I'm getting them back out. I've got a team that fights hard. We don't play necessarily our best football for 4 quarters, but we're getting there. We got the win yesterday. I wasn't happy about the way we played, but I'm happy we got the win. We got some things to work on, but so does every football team. Yesterday we won 44-34, but early in the second quarter we had a 17-point lead. Start of the fourth quarter we had a 23-point lead. So we just got to work on no mercy and not letting teams back into games. We can't start playing a little softer and not focusing just because we have a lead. But all in all, we're sitting at 2-1 right now. We're in a pretty good position. Just hoping we can continue to win every week and get a good playoff seed, and then get there, and that's when the real season starts. There are 3 divisions in Italy for seniors. So the first division has 9 teams. The second division has 19. The third division is 9-man football, and I can't even count how many teams there are. They seem like they're kind of everywhere. Similar to the old PLFA 8 when you had just all these teams you've never heard of. It's kind of like that.
That's true. So Padova Saints.
Shout out to Old Boys though. They were fun to watch. If we're just talking PLFA 8 team, Old Boys, great to watch.
Padova Saints is in second division.
For now.
Yeah, for now. And because what? Last year they won all the games.
Yeah, so last year they had a great regular season. Ended up losing in the semifinal to a team they'd already beaten in the regular season. It was a pretty disappointing deal. And right now we're really banged up. We're probably missing, I would say, close to 10 starters right now due to injury. So I think it's good because we're developing some depth by guys kind of being thrown into the fire and having to play before they're ready. And I think that, you know, when we get everybody back together, if we're healthy, we can make a run all the way to the Silver Bowl, which is the second division championship.
I have to ask you, what do you miss about football in Europe from US and the opposite?
Okay, I think the thing I miss about football in the US when I'm here is just the resources available. You know, being able to practice every day, having enough coaches that you can really be more creative with your practice plan. You know, I could just take the defensive tackles if I needed to for a period, things like that. You know, not having the manpower, the resources here, not having the film necessarily the same quality you have in the US. That's frustrating, but you know, I'm learning to work around it, finding ways to film practice, get multiple angles of games, you know, finding guys that I can train up to say, hey, you know, you just take these guys, run this drill for this 10-minute period, I've got to go do this. So, and I think it's one of the positives about Europe. It forces me to be more creative in practice planning and how I utilize guys. You know, I had a guy yesterday who was a rush end at the start of the game, ended up playing safety for a few drives and did well. You just got to be creative, you've got to cross-train guys. I think the things about Europe I miss when I'm in the US, the biggest thing for me is here, you can play as long as your body lets you. Whereas in the US every year, you've got that class of seniors who, you know, they have the passion for football, they want to keep playing, and sorry, you're a senior, your time's up. You know, in Europe you got guys who just keep playing. You know, I've got, I think, 3-4 guys on my team over 40. And some of them you wouldn't know it to watch him play, and to me that's awesome.
Yeah, your quarterback is over 40.
He's 44 years old. He's not the starter. When we get the starter back, it's a different deal, you know. But in Poland, I had that last year with Archie. Archie, I don't know how old you are, but you're not young, and it was still nice to, you know, have Archie out there. So I think that's the thing about Europe I miss the most in the U.S. is that guys don't have to hang it up because, well, you're done with school, so no more football for you. And I also love the team camaraderie. It's just a different dynamic. Players and coaches in the U.S. versus in Europe, and I enjoy being able to talk with my guys, you know, outside of football.
That's why I think, like, if anyone is curious, like, why we have so many Americans who wants to go to Europe to play, like, a lot of people are wondering, like, why do you want to go here? Like, why?
Because
and, like,
it's so fun. Because you can come over, you can play football, and
be a star.
Even if you're not a star, I wasn't. Look, it's still fun. The most fun I've ever had is playing football in Europe. It's a great life experience, and you know, I think for a lot of guys, it's about seeing other cultures. It's about experiencing new things. I think for some guys, it's I could go get a real job, or I can play football. You know, and there are some imports I know that probably couldn't work jobs that aren't playing football or coaching football. That's just, you know, that's the nature of it. Some people, that's just what they're suited to, and for me, you know, obviously I wish I could still play, but to be able to just coach football and have that be my job, be my life, it's pretty awesome. So, I mean, I wouldn't give it up. I love it. I absolutely love coaching football. I love that that is my job. And I can devote most of my waking hours to football.
Thank you for those beautiful words at the
Okay. And when we're done with this interview, I've got to go break down more film.
What?
When we're done with the interview, I've got to go break down more film.
Zatem dziękuję Wam bardzo za oglądanie tego wywiadu. Mam nadzieję, że Wam się podobało. Piszcie w komentarzach, jakie macie uwagi, co mogłabym poprawić na przyszłość, bo planuję więcej tego typu rozmów z futbolowymi ludźmi, których znam mniej lub bardziej. I to tyle. I do zobaczenia już wkrótce. I nie zapomnijcie o zasubskrybowaniu tego kanału i łapki w górę, jeżeli Wam się podobało. Pa, pa!
Yay!
You have to wave. Yay! Retards.